Testing, testing. Oh my god, I think I finally figured it out. That took way too fucking long. Whew, okay. Welcome to Wednesday's Weekly. I'm your host, Elizabeth. Yes, I am. Ugh, that sounded awful. Does my hair look okay? God, this is gonna be a fucking shit show. Hello, welcome to Wednesday's Weekly. I'm your host, Elizabeth. Yes, I am a TikTok refugee. I am also quite new to YouTube, so please be patient with me and kind in the comments. I am very excited to be here, though. I feel like I should have been here all along. The time constraints on the other app were killing me. I am a yapper. So I'm really stoked to be able to just sit and yap to my heart's content. So I am here to yap about the things that I enjoy and am passionate about, which are books, film, and most recently manga. So that is what you will be getting from me. I thought today to kind of introduce myself to you guys, to whoever is watching, if anyone is watching. I would go over my top 3 favorite book series, films, and mangas to help give you guys an idea of what types of content I like to consume and kind of where I'm at in my overall reading journey, etc. So if we want to just jump right into it, I'm not used to just like sitting here talking to myself like in a podcast format. I like the idea of just a super informal podcast format, but it is kind of weird sitting here and talking to yourself. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm stalling right now, so we're getting back to it. We're getting into it. Book series. We will do book series first. So the first one is the Realm of the Elderlings series by Robin Hobb. This is a 16-book series. I am 9 books in. I just completed the 3rd trilogy in the series, the Tawny Man trilogy, in December. Absolutely loved it. It was my favorite. It is my favorite trilogy so far out of the series, out of the 9 books that I have read. Robin Hobb, I started the Farseer trilogy almost exactly a year ago to the day, and I truly believe that Robin Hobb and the Realm of the Elderlings series changed who I am as a reader. I realized how much I love character-driven stories. I mean, there's definitely a plot going on in the Realm of the Elderlings, but her character work is unmatched to really anyone else. And I feel like for the first time I experienced that with Fitz specifically. I also love first person POV. I know for some reason like not a lot of people like that. Most people prefer third person. I love first person because I feel like you will never be as intimately connected with a character as you can be when you are reading from their point of view and when you're inside their head for multiple books. So I really love that. I felt connected to Fitz almost immediately. And man, it's been a journey. It has been a journey. Robin does not mind ripping your heart out, and she doesn't care about her readers' feelings at all, but her prose is just incredible. Like I said, her character work, she also immerses you. I immediately as soon as I started Assassin's Apprentice, I was like immediately immersed into Buckkeep, into the world that this story takes place in. It feels very real, and her characters feel so real, literally like tangible. So that is, I'm not numbering these are just like top 3. I wouldn't say it's my number 1 favorite. It probably will be by the time I finish the entire series. Whatever, that doesn't matter. Let's move on to my second favorite series, which is the First Law series by Joe Abercrombie. So this is there are 10 books total, 3 trilogies plus a short story collection. I have read all of them, and Joe is another one. The character work, I feel like Robin Hobb actually set me up perfectly to really enjoy Joe's character work, because The Blade itself, the first book in the first trilogy called the First Law trilogy, it's very slow and there's essentially no plot. So you have to be comfortable with just enjoying reading about characters hanging out in the woods and doing their thing. And I loved it. I think because of the realm of the Elderlings, I had also, before I started The Blade itself, I had read, this is another just side note, I had read the Locked Tomb series, which that would be number 4 on my list. I'm not going to go into the Locked Tomb series today, but that's another one where the characters are so great. Like, I don't really give a fuck what is going on with the plot at all. I am just happy to be hanging out with the characters. And that was my experience in The Blade itself. And then I moved on to Before They're Hanged, book 2, where there started to be somewhat of a plot. And then in book 3, all of a sudden, Joe surprises you with oh, surprise, I snuck a plot in here this entire time. And it blew me away. Last Argument of Kings. Loved it so much. Then moved on to Best Served Cold, which is one of my top favorite books out of all of them. I just love his characters. He has humor. Joe is, I would say, the funniest writer in fantasy right now. He is hilarious. I'm actually reading, I have an arc of The Devils that I just started reading. I'm about 10% in. I have already laughed out loud countless times. It is hilarious. I would say at this rate, The Devils is going to be the funniest book that he has written so far, but his humor shines throughout the entire First Law series as well. And then the way that he writes his close combat scenes, it's the best ever. I love his battle scenes. You feel like you are there on the ground with them. You feel the mud and the blood splattering across your face. At least that's how I feel. It's just so immersive. And his writing is very simplistic, but also so profound. I cannot tell you the amount of quotes, Abercrombie quotes, that I have saved that apply to my own life, that I can sit and read and, find wisdom from. So it's just, yeah, he's great at pretty much everything that he does. I don't have a single critique for the man. He's just, yeah. My advice to you, if you haven't read Abercrombie and you're newer to character focused driven stories, just push through The Blade itself. I promise it is worth it. Whatever. I'm not trying to sell you guys on this right now. I'm just telling you about me. I'm getting off track. And then my third favorite series and author is the Sun Eater series by Christopher Rocchio. I do actually have, I went to a signing, I met Christopher, and I have every single one of these books signed and personalized. So, you can be jealous. It's okay. These are some of my most prized possessions. I love this series so much. I'm a big sci-fi girl too. So, Realm of the Elderlings and First Law, those are both fantasy. Sun Eater is obviously sci-fi. I love them both. I actually tend to, I think if I had to pick, I lean a little bit more sci-fi. I tend to enjoy sci-fi just slightly more, I would say. But funny story about Sun Eater. So last summer, back in, like May, I was at the bookstore one day and I had this guy come up to me trying to shoot a shot with me. And I was alone. Usually, like, if I had a friend with me, I would be more open to it. But even in a fucking bookstore, I'm going, like, major off script right now, but we're just going to talk about my dating life for a second. I have, like, big stranger danger if I'm approached by a guy and I'm alone. Even if it's in a bookstore. Sorry, guys. It is what it is. So I politely turned him down, and he was really nice about it. But I know that he saw the stack of books in my hand, because he left and then he came back and he put Empire of Silence, book 1 of Sun Eater, in my hands. And he said, "It was nice meeting you. Whatever you do, just read this book." You guys, I had never heard of Sun Eater until that moment. And then I was like, okay, yeah. Looked at the cover. It was a US paperback. It was a different cover than that one. Never seen it. Never seen the cover. Never heard of the book. Never heard of Christopher Rocchio. Looked at it. Put it back. And was like, yeah, I'll mentally note it. Got home. You guys, I'm not kidding you. Like 2 hours later, I open TikTok and Jonah fucking Everts, who's a friend of mine, he's a big TikToker and he's on YouTube, Jonah has posted a video screaming about book 2, Howling Dark, in the Sun Eater series. Screaming about how he can't stop thinking about it, how he had a dream about this book. And I was like, are you kidding me? And this is the series that this guy just, like, tried to give me. And I never got his number. I never got the guy's number. So I was like, well, shit. If Jonah's screaming about it, saying that he can't stop thinking about it, maybe this guy actually tried to wreck me a good book. And I turned him down. I'll probably never see him again. Like, what a cosmic fuck up on my end that was. So, long story short, I end up downloading Empire of Silence on my Kindle, and I read books 1 through 3 in 1 month, plus 2 of the novellas. I was hooked instantly. I was obsessed. I know a lot of people struggle through book 1. I did not have that problem because, again, I'm used to Robin Hobb and, like, the Blade itself. I am okay with the first book being slow. I'm totally fine with, like, set up foundational books. And like I mentioned earlier, first person POV. I loved reading from Hadrian's POV. It was like filling the Fitz void in my soul that I had, because I think I was in the middle of live ship traders at that time and I just really missed Fitz. So reading Empire of Silence, it hooked me. It's incredible. I'm fully caught up. I read all 6 of the books out. The 7th and final book, called Shadows Upon Time, should be getting released in December of this year, so I'll be doing a full reread of the entire series, probably starting sometime this summer. I'm dying to go ahead and reread it. Like, that's how much I love it, but I'm trying to wait because I would like to finish Disquiet Gods, book 6, as close as possible to the release of Shadows Upon Time. Because, man, Disquiet Gods is a doozy. Like, that's the one that I need to reread the most because so much wacky, crazy shit happened in that book. Yeah. So those are my, I would say, top 3. Oh, but again, guys, I'm so ADD. Which, this is actually a good segue. One thing I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention about the First Law series is if you ever decide to pick up First Law, I I cannot recommend enough the audiobooks. The First Law audiobooks narrated by Stephen Pacey. Fun fact about me, I am dyslexic. And I have been immersion reading, which if you don't know what that means, it means reading the physical book and listening to the audio at the same time. A lot of people, I found it funny, like when I was on Book Talk this past year, a lot of people were just discovering what immersion reading was for the first time. I've been doing it for like 2 decades. I immersion read the entire Harry Potter series in 3rd grade. iPhones did not exist. Audible did not exist. I immersion read those books with cassette tapes. And I remember it so vividly, and it really helped me. So anyways, my whole point to that story, also I don't support J.K. Rowling, but the Harry Potter series was a big part of my childhood. I'm going to take a sip of water really quickly. The Harry Potter books were a big part of my childhood, probably like a lot of us. But yeah, no, fuck J.K. Rowling. It sucks that she's such a shitty person. But anyways, because I am dyslexic and have been immersion reading for so long, I consider myself a pretty good judge of I know a lot of good audiobook narrators, and I have to say Stephen Paisley is the best of the best that I've ever listened to. Next to him would be Moira Quirk, who narrated the Locked Tomb series by Tamsin Muir. She is also awesome. Those two are my favorites by far. As far as films go, Everything Everywhere All at Once, masterpiece. Marie Antoinette by Sofia Coppola. Love that movie. And I mean, obviously Lord of the Rings. I feel like, should I include that though in my top 3? I mean, I've already watched it once this year in 2025, and I just watched it in December too. I watch it often. So yeah, those are probably my top 3. And my favorite film that I saw last year probably has to be Nosferatu. I thought that film was a masterpiece, top to bottom, no notes. It was perfection. I loved the atmosphere. I thought the actors were incredible. I thought the love story between Ellen and Thomas, her husband, was beautiful. I thought it was disgusting, but so well done. Dark. And yeah, I think that's enough about films. God, okay, we're almost at 20 minutes. And then manga. So I am about halfway through Berserk right now. I just finished volume 20. And I don't have, the deluxe volumes are out of order because I've been like randomly collecting them as I go. I've been trying to read most of them through Libby on my iPad because these aren't cheap. But I got desperate and went and bought volume 7 the other day because I needed to read volumes 19 and 20. And so I still have 21 left to read. And then I saw volume 9 on sale sometime, like over like 50% off, so I grabbed it. If you love dark fantasy and you have not tried Berserk, you're missing out. This manga series, first of all, the artwork alone is worth it. The artwork in Berserk is insane. It's really the only way I know how to describe it. It's wild. But the story also is great. Super grim dark, has essentially every trigger warning possible, so check your trigger warnings before you start it, but I'm so glad I discovered it. Next up, Sakamoto Days, which is polar opposite of Berserk. It has become kind of like a fun palate cleanser, comfort manga read for me. It's just fun, pure, wholesome joy, great fight scenes. It's funny. It's about a retired assassin hitman who has sworn to his wife that he will never kill again. And now all of these old assassin people are after him, and he's got to he's got to fight them but not kill them. And he loves ramen. And he's overweight. He got married. He was like this svelte assassin, and then he got married and had a kid and got overweight. And then when he fights, he like warps back into his svelte assassin body. It's really fun. And the anime for that was just released on Netflix. So I think the first 2 episodes are out. I've watched the first 2 episodes. I loved it. It literally feels like the pages of the manga have just come to life. It's not arcane, but it's great if you enjoy the manga. I'm also I like to read manga more so than watch anime, or at least read the manga first before I watch the anime. So I probably won't talk a ton about anime on here. That doesn't matter. And then my third manga I would say is Chainsaw Man. Love Chainsaw Man. Denji and Pochito. Yeah, it's great. Oh, I feel so connected to Denji. I feel protective of him. So yeah, those are my top three books, film, manga. Before I go, I just want to quickly mention, obviously, this channel is called Wednesdays Weekly, so you can expect a new episode from me once a week. That's really all that I am committing to right now because I don't want to overwhelm myself. I am just dipping my toe into the YouTube waters, seeing how the water feels, and we'll kind of go from there. Each episode, I would like for it to be something different. I don't want it to be, just me just doing a weekly update every week. So, next week, the episode might be dedicated to one specific topic. When I do my Sun Eater reread, I know I will be doing at least one, probably more episodes dedicated to my Sun Eater rereads. I can do favorites lists and, talk about books that I've read in the past and just all sorts of stuff. We're just going with the flow here, taking this one step at a time. But yeah, I think that's it. Oh, also, I'm a very reactive reader and people seem to enjoy that. So if there is a book or like a manga series that you would like me to film my reactions for, drop it in the comments. Like I mentioned, I am about halfway through Berserk right now. So if there are any volumes, I just finished volume 20. If there are any volumes past volume 20 that you're like, oh my God, I want to see her reactions to, drop it in the comments. Let me know. I will absolutely film my reactions to that. And also, if this lighting, I don't know if you guys can notice this lighting or not, is driving me insane. I have a massive window to my left here. I don't really know what to do about it. I'm still trying to figure my lighting out. It's probably my biggest issue as far as like content creation goes. Who knows? I might be able to fix this in post, but yeah, it's bugging me. Okay, I'm going to end this. I don't know how to end this, but I will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching. If you did watch, I guess I need to say, if you liked it, if you enjoyed this, please comment, like, subscribe. That feels weird to say, but yeah, I guess I'm a YouTube person now, so I have to say that. And enjoy the rest of your Wednesday if you're watching this on Wednesday or whatever day you're watching this. I hope you're having a great day, a great week. I'll see you next week.